Welcome back to Be Wise Podcast. My name is Belize, your host, and today I'm super excited for the topic that I'll be talking about. It's something very essential, something that sounds very simple on the surface, but it goes so deep, and that is attitude. Okay? Attitude is something very important. I'm not talking about just, yes, have a good attitude, be happy, be all of this. But no, we're going to dive into the inward attitude and as well the outward attitude. When I tell you that attitude can shape your life in different ways and shapes and form, it helps you achieve your success and progress in life and just advance in remarkable ways that you cannot imagine. So when I say attitude, to be specific, we'll start with inward attitude. I like to call it self-perception. It's how you think of yourself. It's that self-worth that you have within you, how you tackle challenges, because having a good attitude towards yourself or the self-talk that you have within, it mainly helps you with navigating through life's problems differently as compared to having a negative self-talk. I'll give you a valid example. I have a friend, her name is Sophie. We'll call her Sophie for today. She is a great artist. She has a keen eye for art. She just knows her craft so well. However, she got to a point when she was starting and started saying, there's better artists out there. There's someone who is more stronger than me. I will not give any more energy into this. So she nearly gave up because of that self-talk. That's what I'm saying, the inward attitude. So later on, she realized that opportunities were passing her by. She realized that people were not contacting her. And she sat to herself and asked what exactly was going on. And she was telling me the story and was like, ever since I changed my self-talk, she started switching it to, let me give it a try. I think I have the capabilities. If I have the idea, I can bring it from my mind and the skills and present myself in the world with a great attitude and just push through with that positive thinking. Later on, she started getting gigs. She started getting clients. People started approaching her because her inward interaction with herself changed. So that's why I say attitude can be broken down into two. There's the outward and the inward. The inward comes crucial before the outward one, because if you're in self-talk within is kind of negative, trust and believe it's going to show in the results. It's going to show in the types of friendships you attract, and they're going to be a bit shallow. So from her story, I realized and learned that the more you give into the world, or the more you give into your thinking and yourself, you start attracting those people who are on the same frequency as you. But her, because she was not taking into account that she was not having the positive inward self-talk, she had shallow conversations. She did not have the people that she needed. So the universe or the world kind of always rewards us based on what we have put in the work, and that can be inward and outward. But now let's flip the switch. Let's go to outward attitude, which is also the interactions you have with others, how you show up in the world, how you communicate, how you just show up in a room. And you want to know a funny part? I will tell you this. Attitude can be sensed in places that you go. I'll give you an example. Imagine two people, person A and person B. They come into a meeting. There's that one who comes in saying, oh, I know what I'm doing. I really don't have to pay attention. They just sit and listen. Then comes the other person B who comes to that meeting and is willing to learn, gives their ideas, asks questions, is inquisitive, wants to grow. Who would you want to gravitate to more? Of course, person B, right? So our attitude kind of reflects outside and people can know. And especially when you move in rooms, it can help you in so many different ways. It helps you, of course, get through your challenges differently. I'm not saying have a positive attitude. Life's problems will go away. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it helps you face those challenges with what we call resilience. And you kind of glide through it rather than struggle to get to the point where you don't have that negative self-talk. So I would say that those two, inward and outward attitude, they go hand in hand, because starting from within, it gets reflected outside and people start to perceive you that type of way. So that's why sometimes you get into places, you meet certain people, you're like, oh, this person has a good attitude. It's not because They just want to show up. It starts from within, and then it impacts what you attract outside and how you navigate through life. And of course, setbacks are going to be there. Trials and tribulations of life are going to be there. But how do you navigate through it? Trying to improve your attitude towards it helps you glide through it. Like I was saying, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're going to face it with more power, more calmness, more patience, and understanding that things take time. But if you're negative, it's going to affect what you attract, who comes in, what opportunities you get, and it's not easy. But for people who ask, okay, how can I change my attitude, or what's the process, it starts with one simple thing: your self-talk. What do you want people to know about you? So it starts with, have that positive self-talk. No matter the challenges, have a positive outlook through life. Life is a blessing. Life is a gift. Life comes once. That opportunity knocks once. So if he finds you in a negative attitude, and we have seen people who are just negative, trust and believe what you attract will reflect what's going on within. So I would strongly and firmly advise anyone who's listening, or wherever you're at, that your attitude will dictate what you achieve in life, the progress you make. And it's not something that you're born with. Some people have a negative attitude and they change it to positive, like Sophie, the example I gave. But the easiest way is, it's shaped. Your attitude can be shaped, and you can grow it, and you can nurture it into what you want to become, or who you want to become. Otherwise, if you don't know your why, that's why on this podcast we always say it all boils down to self-awareness. Understand where you're at, understand where you want to go, and understand that there are things you can work on as a person. Trust and believe, when you work on your attitude, your results are going to start changing. Your elevation in life is going to start changing, and you're going to start seeing results. And this is not just for people who are trying to be entrepreneurs, or in any sector. For example, for entrepreneurs, you might start a business and you're like, I will fail at this. I don't have the capability to push it. But if you go step by step with that positive mindset we were saying, you kind of get to your goals. And whenever you enter a service industry, or people who work in corporate jobs, and they're receiving clients and you have a negative attitude towards them, people can sense that. The clients can sense that. And who does that affect? It affects the entire business, and it affects your perception to be credible, to do your work. So I would say start within that positive attitude. I know it can be hard when you're having a rough day, when things are not going well with your family and you have to show up to work. But that's the part that we always talk about, intentionality. When you are intentional, you kind of know when to pause that emotion and not let your outside problems trickle down into what you're working on or trying to achieve. So attitude is something that I have seen certain places need to fix it, certain services, different industries, different individuals themselves, because it starts as an individual and then it trickles down into other things. Have a positive attitude. If you're a leader, try to be positive, no matter how people you're in charge of are kind of not making you happy. And it trickles down and it kind of helps them, it elevates them. Otherwise, attitude is the key to everything. So work on your inward and work on your outward, because the outward one can be sensed. People will know about you through how you show up in life, through your attitude. And of course, you can find this episode on all platforms. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Again, attitude can help you achieve more, it can help you progress more, and it can help you elevate if you work on the inward one, and it will reflect to the outward one as well. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.